Well, he is quite simply one of the greatest artists of all time, who has a whopping 10 Grammys, an Oscar, a Golden Globe Award, a Presidential Medal for Freedom, and of course the Nobel Prize in Literature to his name. Over his stellar career, he sold over 100 million records, giving the world songs like these.
The answer, my friend, is a blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
But before he found fame as Bob Dylan, he was just Robert Zimmerman from Minnesota. Now one of his lifelong friends is giving us a rare insight into the notoriously private singer's life in a new book.
That's right, the book's called Dylan and Me, 50 Years of Adventures, and we are delighted to say that Louie joins us now from Hollywood. Good morning. Louie, can you tell us how you first met Bob?
So, good morning, Australia.
Morning.
Bobby and I met at summer camp in northern Wisconsin. We were just young kids. Bobby came to camp with his guitar, and he told everybody that would listen he was going to be a rock and roll star. Bobby was 12, and I was 11, and he told to me so many times, I believed him.
And so it came to pass. Louie, you've been approached by Dylan biographers for many years to tell your stories, which are amazing, I've got to say. Why did you decide to write this book now?
Well, it got to the point in my life where I decided that I still have 100% memory, and if I was going to share these stories with the world, I better do it now. And I thought it would be selfish not to share them.
Okay.
Louie, you knew Bob from childhood. What was it like when he became one of the biggest, most famous singers in the world?
Well, you got to remember, to me, and for all the time we were together, he was Bobby Zimmerman, not Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I turn on the radio, and Bobby Zimmerman is singing "Blowing in the Wind," and I said, "How the hell did he do that? That's amazing." But they just kept coming after that, like water out of a faucet. So, but that was his professional side. Our personal side was still Louie and Bobby.
Yeah, an amazing story. Over the years, of course, hanging out with your friend Bobby, you rubbed shoulders and met people like Joni Mitchell, Cher, Marlon, Brando. You were probably there when you met the Beatles. That must have been amazing times.
It was interesting. Like you said, I met a lot of, prominent people, but thank God we both came from northern Minnesota. Neither one of us were starstruck, and they were just regular people to me. I stayed friends with Marlon all through his life. There's some great stories in the book about Marlon and other people. In fact, last night I stayed friends with Joni Mitchell. Last night I was up at her house hanging out with her. But she's just a regular person, just like we are.
Louie, you produced Bob Dylan's famous Rolling Thunder Revue tour. What was that like?
That was fun. That was one of the highlights of professional things that I did. And when Bob told me what he was going to be totally unconventional, there's my backstage pass from the Rolling Thunder. And that he wanted to break all the rules. He wanted to go to out-of-the-way places, play small halls, take the show to fans that couldn't ordinarily see him and couldn't ordinarily get good seats. And we would do it like a musical caravan, like the carnival came to town.
Yeah, amazing. And
when he told me his concept and kind of pressured me to do it because the big promoters wouldn't do it, I said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it was, and I talk about it extensively in my book. I explain what happened behind the scenes.
You do.
And the whole story.
You guys are obviously very close. Page 201, for example, you talk about how he's best man at your wedding. Are you and Bob still in contact today? Does he know that you've written the book? What does he think about it?
Oh, yes, of course he knows I wrote the book. I sent him a copy. We're not in touch right now, but the stories in this book cover a 50-year span, starting when I was 11, going forward. And they're all positive, fun stories that show the human side of Bobby Zimmerman, as well as the professional side. There's at the wedding, Bobby and I. This picture here that you have on the screen was at the concert in Madison Square Garden after the Hurricane concert benefit.
Wow.
So you can see these pictures take place over many years. There's Joan Baez and Bobby and me at a ski resort.
Wow.
Incredible.
You were there sharing a lot of history as it was being made, so we thank you for your time today. Louie's book, Dylan and Me, 50 Years of Adventures, is out now. Once again, thank you for your time, Louie. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.